It's us.
Yo, what's poppin', Top J King? It's your boy TTK. We back another video. Today we'll be watching the mini cost of playing AAU. Feel me? Go to 100 subscribers. Like, comment, share. Feel me? Subscribe. Let me know what y'all want to start seeing. Or follow on my socials: Twitch, my other channel, IRL channel, IG, TikTok, Snapchat, everything. All these gonna be down in the description. Let's get into it.
Growing up as young athletes, we're always told to embrace the grind, be the first guy in the gym, the last guy out, that more reps, more games, more exposure will get us to where we want to be. But what if the very system that's designed to help kids make it to college and beyond is actually the thing breaking them before they arrive? That's just the beginning of this dangerous paradox that is AAU basketball. Youth sports has grown into one of the largest industries in the country, worth an estimated $14 billion annually, and it rivals some of the biggest professional leagues in the world. And over the past few decades, coaches, trainers, and even private investors have taken notice. But what happens when the profit comes at the expense of the kids? Well, some argue that AAU basketball has been teetering this dangerous line between opportunity and exploitation. And AAU has become this sort of umbrella term for summer basketball circuits that kids as young as 7 years old are participating in. Today, it's the place to be discovered by college scouts. That's because college recruiting largely happens in the spring and summer window, when these tournaments are in full swing. The regular high school season is now mostly for checking in on players that you've already scouted. And this shift has put pressure on players and parents to spend thousands of dollars chasing this exposure. And with millions of dollars pouring into this sport, it's also opened the door for some bad actors.
A lot of the skills coaches and trainers and stuff, they actually want to be more famous than actual kid. Their motive is not pure.
Some entrepreneur says, well, I need to make a business of this. Well, if I can sell the dream to the family, they might have a chance to go somewhere with this, but they got to commit to this sport for the year.
That's the worst thing you can do.
I could be a coach and I can reach out to Nike or Reebok or Adidas and let them know, hey, I got a potential star. He's dunking like LeBron, but he doesn't have a name yet. They'll say, okay, well, I'll give you, the coach, $150,000. They haven't even spoke to the player yet. I want you to guarantee this kid plays for Nike team. He's gonna play in all the Nike tournaments. And then when he gets ready to get drafted, we have somebody who has an agency and we're gonna keep it in the family like that.
Not just AAU coaches, there are trainers out there as well. Will have you believe, because it's beneficial to their pocket, that your child needs to be in a gym or on a field or in a pool grinding 7 days a week, and it's not damn true.
I think for me, it all stems back to the commercialization.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything being a business now,
Everything's
trying to develop
monetized.
your business as a personal trainer or your business as an AAU team.
Our children are customers, not athletes. It is all about the money.
And this video isn't to suggest that AAU is rotten to the core. I mean, there are thousands of really good coaches and programs helping kids get discovered. But the paradox is when the solution becomes the problem. When parents get sold a dream by coaches or trainers that their kid has what it takes, but only if they're willing to spend the time and money to get there. And often those parents begin to see the entire journey as more of an investment. If it ends in a scholarship or a pro contract, then it'll be worth it. But the numbers make this seem like less of an investment and more of a wild gamble. Only about 6% of youth athletes go on to play college sports at any level, and only 2 to 3% play at the D1 level. And from that tiny percentage, just 2% will end up making it to the pros. And even fewer will have long and sustained careers. But if you spend enough on tournaments, trainers, showcases, your odds improve, right? Sort of, but also no.
What they're being told as parents, forget about NBA millions. If he wants to go to college, he's gotta play in all this stuff, because if you don't show up, that knocks you down further on the list.
The systemic pressure, like what's that like as a parent to feel like all eyes on these kids trying to get a scholarship?
They're afraid that if they don't progress their children the way their neighbors are progressing theirs, they're gonna get left behind.
There's been a study that claims that 70% of kids quit youth sports by the time they're 13 because basically too much pressure not enough fun.
Pure burnout, like especially if you're a teenager and you have to play the same sport over and over and over again. You get bored, and you may not want to play. You may have increased stress and anxiety levels.
Parents in many cases expect ROI.
You hear your parents talking about time and the financial commitment that it takes to play youth sports. Maybe you'll get a scholarship down the line to help pay for all this, and that just adds pressure and stress.
And even if you do survive the burnout, the pressure, the politics, does a scholarship make up for everything it took to get there? And again, sometimes the answer is no. And it's not all just on the parents, it's the system that they're caught in. And the most dangerous part, in my opinion, is what many refer to as sports specialization. More and more parents are convinced that the earlier a kid picks up one sport, the better their chances. But all they're actually increasing is injury risk.
I call this the great giant race to nowhere in youth sports. And I say it ends nowhere because while we tend to focus on the few athletes who get a scholarship or turn pro, the vast majority end up somewhere else. They end up hating sports. And for some kids, they end up with physical and emotional scars that last a lifetime.
Sports specialization increases the injury risk and pre-exposes kid to chronic injury. There's a misconception that when you start your child at a young age playing one particular sport, that is going to increase their chances to go to college or turn pro for whatever sport that they're specializing in.
There's no data to suggest that early specialization is a requirement or results in any improvement in elite performance later in life. Data is clear. If you are a single sports specialty youth athlete, you're 81% more likely to sustain an injury than your peers that play multiple sports.
I know a kid in the 7th grade. He's got a torn Achilles. Tell me when that has ever happened before.
Children's bodies are not meant to withstand this kind of stress, and now we see the consequences.
You can't just all of a sudden work into it. Yes, that's a part of it. You want to have incredible work ethic, but you're not going to create the next LeBron James just because you have your kid at basketball every week.
48.8% of all current NBA players are related to current or former elite athletes.
If genetically neither one of you fits the mold,
right,
the chances that your child, no matter how skilled or how hard he works, fits the mold genetically are slim to none. When people ask me what they can do for their kids to be better at basketball, I tell them teach them to play something else.
Now, can hard work improve your game? Of course, but reaching the top without elite genetics is incredibly rare. And that's the harshest paradox of all. Even if you have the genetics, the drive, and are playing year-round to keep your spot on the team or boost your draft stock, it could still end up costing you everything. Even if you go on to be a one-and-done player and a lottery pick, what happens when your body is already breaking down before the draft even happens? Today, NBA teams value depth and availability. I mean, look at this year's playoffs. Injuries changed the outcome of almost every round.
The most important ability is availability.
NBA teams have full medical profiles before the draft even happens. They can detect the wear and tear before a player even signs. And many teams are willing to pass on talent if there are durability concerns. And the NBA and NCAA have acknowledged the issue. They've even published guidelines for how much basketball young players should be participating in.
And the league has introduced, along with USA Basketball, guidelines for how much basketball they think kids should play, even as young as like 7 years old. It's a hard sell to parents, though.
These kids are going into the league already banged up. Well, AAU coaches don't give a bleep.
The problem is AAU is so fragmented that one league might make an effort to protect the kids and the other might not. And it's extremely common for kids to participate in multiple circuits that are associated with different organizations. And while science and technology have improved our ability to predict and prevent injury, the commercialization of youth sports shows no signs of slowing down. So if you're a parent, be aware of the risks. Specializing too early can come at a great cost, and not everyone trying to sell you a dream has your child's future or well-being in mind. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you may enjoy this one as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Look, I ain't gonna lie, I agree with everything they were saying, because I know that when I have kids, I'm gonna tell my son personally that I'm gonna put him in the grind to be good at basketball or football or both. But I only force him to do that shit if he's willing to really take that grind seriously. I would like, you should mean like I'm ready to make you work hard, but if you want to, you feel me? But if you don't want to, let me do right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, And it ain't gonna be no egregious shit. Like, it ain't gonna be just fucking, like, I'm not gonna be pounding. Like, his body's not he's not ready to be just, you feel me? It's not gonna be that. It's just, you're gonna work hard. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna get it done. But I'm gonna just make sure I go about it the right way for sure, though. But, hope y'all fuck with this informational video. You should be roll to 100 subscribers. Go like, comment, share, subscribe. Fuck with all socials, other YouTube, TikTok, IG, Snapchat, all of that. Thank you for the love. You feel me? We out. Peace.
Okay. It's us.